Our guest for today's daily feature is Kim Min-ji, a cellist. She has a brilliant background and tremendous talent in music, and lately she's been giving out free performances for the house concert as a member of a trio ensemble. So to tell us more about the house concert as well as the Free Music Festival 2012, she joins us here in the studio. Hello, Min-ji.
Hello.
It's great to have you here in the studio with us.
Thank you.
Now, you're here to tell us a little bit about the house concert as well as the Free Music Festival 2012, which will be held from July 9th through the 15th. Mm-hmm. And, before we get into that, though, I want to talk a little bit about you. You have a spectacular resume in music. You've worked with world-renowned maestro Lauren Mazel. Mm-hmm. You've won all sorts of competitions internationally and domestically. So can you tell us a little bit about how you began studying cello?
I started the cello when I was 7, and before that I started the piano first. And my parents actually, they liked music a lot, so my father actually, did cello as a hobby.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so I saw he's how he plays, and I was very interested about it. So that's how I started it. And then, they thought that I should do music more, so that's how I started.
Oh, so your father played the cello as a hobby. Mm-hmm. Did your mother play any musical instruments?
She played the piano.
She played the piano.
Yeah, so it was very natural for me.
Because I played a little bit of cello as a hobby myself. And for me, I was very distinctly, I remember, because my parents, it was a program at school and we could pick different string instruments. And I remember distinctively saying, I want to try the cello.
I see.
I don't know why. I think, violin, I thought, too many people play the violin. So I thought it would be really interesting to play the cello, and I love the deep sounds, and it's just a beautiful instrument. So did your parents start noticing that you had talent very early on?
I think so. My father's teacher, actually, she saw me that I was sitting on the floor, and then I was watching how they studied together. So I was very interested in it, and she actually recommended to my parents to I should have started cello. So that's how I started.
So you studied here in Korea, and you also went abroad to study. Can you tell us a little bit about your experiences?
When I was 16, I entered the Korean National University of Arts, and I studied with Myunghwa Chung. And then when I was 20, I went to States in Boston and New England Conservatory, and I finished artist diploma and my master. Then I went to France to study, professional study. And that's how I started. And then, studied. And then later I went to Spain to, work with Lauren Mazel and Zubin Mehta. So.
Right. So you've been traveling all over the world.
Yeah, quite.
Right. Well, to talk about some of your recent projects, I know you got involved with the house concert, which is a very unique sort of concert. You actually hold concerts at homes or cafes or a little bit more private setting. And I'm assuming it's because you kind of want to get to know the audience a little bit better and play in a more intimate setting. But can you tell us how you first came in contact with the house concert?
I think it was 2005 or 2006. That the first time I met, I just started the house concert, and one of my good friends, the Sunwoo Kim, the pianist, actually he already knew the director Park, Park Chang-sun 선생님. So, and he actually called me one day that we have a gala concert in the house concert, and he's very good friends of me, and I want to invite you as a friend that I want to perform with you. So that was the first time I met director Park, and so that was my first time. And then I've played a few concerts already, and every time when I play at the house concert, I just feel more and more. I just feel comfortable, and it's really unique place because I can communicate with audience they're very close and they're on the floor, and sometimes I just distract me because if they move or if they're just doing something and I just see everything, right? So it's very in the beginning, I was very nervous because, everybody was like, oh my God, they can see me. Like, right there. But more and more, it's more comfortable. And then later, it feels very great because, I can see their expression,
They're
on their
being
face.
moved.
Yeah,
Right.
So it's a very unique place,
Right. So I guess, for you performing on a concert stage and then these house concerts, which do you enjoy more?
I think it's very different. The concert, you feel the resonance sound and the beat, the atmosphere is quite different. But the small house concert feels more family-like. So, after the concert, we, enjoy the wine or some dessert and then we just communicate with each other. And we talk about, after the concert, how they feel.
Right.
And they wanted to ask me all the questions and things like that. So, it's more closer, the house concert feels, So.
Right. So I think, it even goes both ways because the audience members will be able to communicate with you and the performers and they'll get to know more about the music you played and what your feelings were when you were actually playing it. So it sounds like a really great concept. And I hear it has quite a long history as well, about 10 years.
It's been already 10 years, but I started, 7 years ago, but before they already started. And beginning, I remember they started at house. And
That's probably
his
why
living
it's called
room.
a house concert.
So they started it, and now they just moved to the studio. So they have their own, the recording systems and things like that. So they already recorded, there's a lot of recording CDs and so if you can find out, then, you can find other recordings and great recordings.
Right, right. I think I was reading an article about the house concerts and the person who's leading it, he mentioned that he wanted the audience to not just hear with their ears, but with their skin as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's true because the audience sits so close to
Very
the performers that, you can really kind of feel everything with your skin, with your entire body. Yeah, it's a really great concept. I think it's a wonderful idea. So you've been definitely enjoying this, but can you tell us what your first impression was when you first performed for the house concert? Do you remember?
It was winter, the first time I went there, and it was very humid because there were a lot of people were sitting in the small places. And then, but I could feel that, how their passions for it, listening all the new classical musicians and things like that. So I felt very passionate and then they really liked the, communicate with the audience, the artists and the audience, between them. And it feels because, we don't wear the shoes. It's a house concert, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean, usually when we have a concert in the, concert hall, we wear the shoes and and I was barefoot and oh shoot, I didn't know that I should wear the either
socks
the
or
socks or something like that. It was my barefoot and I was it was very embarrassing because I was wearing the pants and
Right.
Okay, and then later it felt fine and comfortable, but in the beginning it was oh my God, I'm wearing
not prepared. So you dress very casually for these concerts?
No, I mean just the concert. So I wear the the black nice top and with the pants. But later I knew that it's gonna be barefoot, so I wear the dresses later. A few other concerts, but in the beginning,
Right. And does it get very crowded?
Yes, I mean, it depends on the concert, and then they announce in the website that which concert in these states and which artists, and so people comes and tickets from there. The tickets are very also reasonable price. So it depends on artists, but usually they
They get very crowded. Is the house concert usually just for classical music, or do you do other genres?
I believe that the classical music and also that they're trying to new music as well and other songs. I mean, I saw the the list. I'm sure that they do a lot of other than classical music as well.
Now you're going to be a part of an ensemble and you're going to be performing for the Free Music Festival 2012, which is a part of this whole house concert thing. It's going to go on from July 9th through the 15th. Can you tell us a little bit about what sort of performances you'll be doing?
We're going to play some trios, Arinsky Trio and the piazzolla, the spring and summer. And other program will be like, our solo pieces. The violinist will play Sarasate, a few pieces, and for me, that I'm going to play short piece from the Chopin. And the pianist will play another Chopin, pieces. So we're going to combine the solo pieces and trio pieces. So it's going to be very interesting.
Right. Have you been working together for a long time?
We are friends.
We're friends, okay.
So for a long time ago. So, and we played occasionally, and then actually last month we played the Schubert project. So we already
know each other well, right? It must be fun working with your friends on such a big project. It's actually a really big project. A lot of different groups of musicians are going to be traveling all around Korea. There's going to be 100 performances that's actually going to be done through this week. And it sounds like a really grand project. I've heard that we can expect to hear other genres as well.
Yes, definitely. You will hear the kukak, the Korean traditional music. And also
pop music?
Yeah, definitely, I think.
Right. So I've heard that a lot of different teams will be giving out performances at the Free Music Festival 2012, and it's not going to cost that much either.
It's very reasonable. I mean, some concerts are free, and some concerts, have manwon, so it's very
about 10,000 won, so it's going to be very affordable. Is there anything else that you would like to say to our audience?
I want tell the people that so maybe the classical music or the other musics it will be. Sometimes it's hard to go buy tickets and listen not easily, but if you have some chance and to come to house concert and then you feel it without the artist and an audience, and if you feel it, then that will be very interesting. So I want the people to come a lot,
definitely.
A lot of concerts. So.
If you want to sit on the floor with the artists and listen to their music, listen to them play right there in front of your eyes, I think this is definitely something you should check out. Thank you so much, Minji, for joining us today and telling us about